What's up, it's Kaero. Welcome back to the channel. You all wanted some more AI rating cards from Urza's AI, so we're doing more. This is part number 5. If you enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing, and you can check out all the other rating videos. There are 4 previous ones, and if you want to make your own cards, head over to urzas.ai and just click Forge a Spell, or you can name a card and it will generate one for you. Thanks for watching. Let's get into it. Massacre Spirits, 1 black, 4 generic for a 3/3. It's a spirit creature. Sacrifice a creature, regenerate target creature. The flavor is, in the Massacre Spirit, all his bones were removed and the blood flowed over his face. That's metal flavor text. This is not bad. It's a 5-drop 3/3, so it's underpowered on its baseline stats, but sacrifice any creature to regenerate any creature is a pretty powerful effect. I think this is probably like a 6. 6 or maybe even pushing up to 7 when build around synergies are included here. 6 or 7. The flavor text is 11 out of 10 though. In the Massacre Spirit, all his bones were removed and the blood flowed over his face. Love it. Zealot's Toughest Jobs. 1 red, 2 generic. Enchantment. When a creature attacks, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. This is interesting because it's all creatures. So this can actually, if you're facing like an aggro mirror or something, this could really kill you. Because your opponent, if they go first, you play this, they have a bunch of 1/1/2/2s. They attack you, they get +2/+0 also. The flavor is, the conquered land holds only the spirit of its last inhabitant. Also pretty metal flavor text. I think this is only playable in the narrowest of decks because the backlash against you is also so high. The potential for it to kill you is so high. That being said, if you're playing against like a control deck and you have a bunch of 1/1 goblins, this could be absolutely nasty. So, you have to know your opponent. This is probably a sideboard card. You know, in the sideboard, if you're playing aggro versus control, maybe we'll give it like a 6 or 7, because it's pretty potent in the right deck. But it has very, very small niche. I like it though. It's good. Krosan Duglad's The Seer's End. It is a blue mana and 2 generic. At common, no creature type, no card type, no text. The epitome of nothingness. If it's the Seer's End, I guess that means that the Seer has faded into nothing because the card is blank. Write whatever you want on the card. Basically, take a Sharpie, play this card, write whatever you want, have it do whatever effect, and for that reason, I'm going to rate this card 12 out of 10. Krosan Duglad's The Seer's End. Boom. Bomb. Cavern Pillage. 1 black, 2 generic for a sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. What's the flavor? Sometimes it's not enough to try to take the breath of the living. Sometimes it's just better to take the breath of the dead. Love it. Good flavor. Love that art. It's like a cavern or something, and it seemed to be like some sort of spirit-like creatures or something in the back. It's really cool. Unfortunately, Cavern Pillage costs 3 at sorcery speed to discard a non-land card from your player's hand. Not good enough when we have cards like Duress and Thoughtseize and any other black discard cards. So I'm going to think this is probably like a 2. I don't think it's good in basically any situation. Ethereal Scholar. 1 blue, 1 generic for a spirit creature. Relevant creature type. It's 1/1. It's flying. And it also has an ability, pay 1 generic and a blue mana, sacrifice it, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, not terrible. You play it on turn 2, you have a 1/1 flyer, you can ping in some damage. You play a big creature later. If this is still around, you sacrifice it, get a creature back from the graveyard to your hand. I would think this would be better in limited. I don't think this is strong enough really in any constructed format, but I don't know. It's probably like a 4 or 5. What's the flavor? Its taste is the tiniest taste of magic. Its taste of magic is its taste. Love it. Fruition Experiment. 1 blue, 1 generic for an instant. Create 2 1/1 blue satyr creature tokens. And the flavor is at the end of the race, we'll soon see a bit of chaos. Kind of metal for a blue card. Fruition Experiment, 2 1/1 blue satyrs at instant speed. It's not bad. This reminds me of the current standard card, Exotic Pets. That's 3, that's 1 white, 1 blue in a generic to make 2 1/1 unblockable fish. So this costs 1 less than that, but they're not unblockable, they're just satyr creatures. So, sort of an irrelevant creature type. It would be cool if those were spirits, because they would be buffed by like spirit lords and tribal and stuff, but since they're not, I'm going to say it's probably like a 3 or a 4. You can flash these in to chump block, but other than that, I don't see them being like really great. Creature enter the battlefield effects would pay off from this though. So maybe it's like a 4 or 5. Spontaneous Shock in blue. 1 blue, 1 generic for an instant. Return target creature or planeswalker creature cards. Return target creature or planeswalker creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So a target creature or planeswalker creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Does this technically mean that this returns any amount of creatures or planeswalkers to your hand? Because it says cards, plural. Now, from what I understand, there's no planeswalker creatures that could be creatures and planeswalkers in your graveyard. We have like Luxio or Giada's Gift in standard right now that can make a planeswalker into a creature, but it doesn't stay that way when it dies. But just having return target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand at instant speed, pretty good. What's the flavor? Niv Mizzet gives a warning counter of honor for your enemies. Miri of the Elephant Queen. I'm gonna say this is probably like a 6, maybe a 7. If you can get back any number of creatures, and it does read that way, this is like an 8. Because you can board wipe, say you're saying Azorius control, you board wipe the entire field. You play this, you just return every creature from your graveyard to your hand. That's nice. That's like an 8. Frostcloud Fracture. 1 blue, 3 generic, kicker of 2. And the kicker says you may pay an additional 1. Oh, 1 blue as you cast the spell. Got it. Return target creature to its owner's hand. If this spell was kicked, tap that creature for 4 mana to bounce a creature to its owner's hand, and then if you pay the kicker, the creature that you bounced also becomes tapped. So the kicker is hilarious. The text: some cannot keep their cool. How true that is in life. This is a 4 mana instant bounce spell with a useless kicker. This is not playable in any format, but I really love the kicker text. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10, but I'm going to give it, for the kicker laughs, 8 out of 10. Zinyigu the Liberated. 1 white, 3 generic for a human soldier, not legendary by the way. As long as this card remains in the battlefield, it has indestructible. So would there be a situation where it would not be on the battlefield that would lose indestructible and then that would allow it to be destroyed? I don't think so. So it's just a 4-drop indestructible 3/4. That's pretty good. I like that. And not legendary, by the way. So you can have as many of these Zinyigu the Liberated as you wish for 4. Very good. I'm going to give it 7. I think it's good. What's the flavor? It doesn't leave the battlefield or must be destroyed to sit in the safety of the Gate of Yawgmoth. The quote is attributed to ambiguity speech used as scripted. It doesn't leave the battlefield or must be destroyed to sit in the safety of the Gate of Yawgmoth. I love that. I love when the flavor text implements some sort of rules text. That is fantastic. Ambiguity speech, use it as scripted, guys. Use this speech as scripted. Don't go away from the script at all. All right. Pepper Potion. 2 generic for an artifact. Tap 2 mana, tap this, exile target creature card from a graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, and put a +1/+1 counter on it. The flavor is afterward, that particular bird shrieks and charges. Pepper Potion. So are we feeding corpses like a pepper mixture that makes them zombified? Is that what's happening? It's a 2-drop artifact, so you play this on turn 2. You have hopefully some cards that hit the graveyard turn 3 or 4, and then you just start making 2/2 zombies with +1/+1 counters on them. Seems pretty good. I like this engine. I like it a lot, actually. In the right deck, this could be actually really insane with end of the battlefield effects, and not to mention tribal zombies. If you had a zombie lord that gave them all +1/+1, you start making some 4/4 zombies pretty quickly. I think this is probably like a 7. I think this is pretty good. I like Pepper Potion. Weft-Winged Drakes, 1 blue, 4 generic, for 3/3 flying. When Weft-Winged Drakes enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-human, and or non-dragon creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it has to be a non-creature card, but also non-human and or non-dragon, and put it into your hand. My brain cells, I only have like 3 brain cells to begin with, guys, and they're all firing. They're firing on all cylinders to figure out the and or statement of non-creature. So if I reveal a negate, that's non-creature, non-human, and non-dragon, so I can put that into my hand. But I could not reveal a instant or sorcery or artifact non-creature spell that's also not human. I don't know. Help me out. Help me out in the comments. The Drakes return to the battlefield to prey on one of the followers of the ill-tempered, one-minded monk. Really like that art. That's really cool. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird because you can't see what's behind it, and that's like a weird drake. It looks like something that's like a zombie drake or some sort of like a field experiment or something. So it's a 5-drop 3/3 flying that basically, look at the top 3 cards of your library to get a non-creature spell put in your hand. I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it like a 7.